No, he's Dennis.
Hello. It's me. Yeah, it's Dennis. Dennis Wachowski. Yeah. Forgot I put all those effects on that, the TTS. What's up? Got some new headphones, so they're not poking me in the head. Because my last ones are they kinda broke. I do need it to, like, my headphones to be on, though. What's up, Coast? What's up, Sam? Okay, good. There we go. Wow, these headphones are really tight. On my head. You know, this is, after my last headphones broke, I measured my head. And I looked up hat sizes, right? Tighter than you are? Oh, yeah. But, I looked up, like, hat sizes. That was me snapping them away a little bit tighter. And apparently I have a large head compared to, like, medium. So, yeah, so I guess I just got a big head. I guess that could explain my, my ego. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll let you out, but I'm warning you, it's hell out there.
Me at Dennis. I got some mods for the game. I modded the game. I found like some crazy DLL injector thing, and it was like, this is a very powerful application. Please be careful. I was like, okay, I respect you. You respect me. You gave me that warning. I am a capital U user of a computer. I'm a power user, okay? I can handle it.
Gordon, you're alive. Thank God for that hazard suit. I'm afraid to move him and all our phones are out. Please, get to the surface as
Why
soon
did
as
I
you
add
can and let
these?
someone know we're stranded down here. You'll
We're
need
not
me to
playing
activate the
Half-Life.
retinal scanners. I'm sure the rest of the science team will gladly help you.
Yet. We're not playing it yet. I don't know, I kinda like the comforting alien blipper dot wave. But we have a fast forward hotkey now, I think. I didn't test these. And we also have a skip button, like in the PS1 version, like how we were playing it before. Otherwise, no mods other than that, because I don't. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want a button to make the game 2 times speed, and I wanted to be able to control it without pausing it. Because, like, I would want that even if I wasn't streaming, honestly. But, yeah, I've been having to do, like, file management all day, so my brain is absolute mush. And I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it, man. Couldn't do it anymore. Had to have some me time. with my boy, my Suezo, my Dennis, our Dennis, really. You know, it takes a village to raise a Suezo. So, hi, I'm Chu. I'm a streamer. I have an above average head size. Because I'm always thinking about every chatter who's ever come to my stream. Because I'm so nice that I keep everyone's information all in my head. And it just swells up with all this love. And it hurts. It hurts so much. Ow. Stretch marks. I'm just kidding. My brain is not swollen for any reason. I would like to reassure everyone. My head, it grew a little bit bigger than heads usually grow, apparently. But nothing like extra large. That's why I looked it up with hat sizes, you know? Well, let's fuck this duck, shall we? I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Does anyone have the sound clip of Joel saying Tornado Twisted? Because I can't get it out of my head. I've been thinking about it for like weeks. I'll have to go find it. Well, I'll tell you that the 2's time speed is definitely on. I need to take off these little fuckers. Okay. I need to turn off the alien blip. Oh wow, it is fast as fuck, boy. So turn fist frick off. Let me get my controller. I want to control Dennis. Chat, would you like do it to this music? You know, the game's actually pretty nice with a cursor. It's surprising how awesome sauce it is. This is one of those songs that no matter how low you make your volume, it's just still too loud. First week of April. Hold on. Hold up. I'm confused. Here, I'm gonna go look at my fucking VOD. Go watch my own VOD real quick. It's already on YouTube. You just can't see it yet. Because that's against Twitch rules. It's me exclusive content. Ooh. Ooh, how I love it. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, I forgot my fucking controller, but buttons are switched. How was my day? Oh, thank you for asking. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the fact we have 100 gold and a 0 loyalty Suezo, and I'm like, man, where did I go wrong last night? How did I get in so deep without realizing how bad it all got? But sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom to climb to the top. This is gonna get him killed. I don't know why I'm doing this. How was my day? Boring but productive. Just doing a lot of things that are necessary. Nah, dude, drop out. That's too bad, but I think Dennis did a good job. It seems pleased. I want to restart the game. I'm not gonna lie. She keeps talking about retiring Dennis. I think fourth time's the fucking charm on Dennis, maybe. I mean, Dinas. The second one was called Dinas. So really, it's like second time's charm on Dinas, really, if you think about it, which, in my mind, I think allows us to restart. And I don't... I'm not currently being vetted for an OCD diagnosis. In my personal life. Everything's fine. My day was fine. How was your day? Guys, I fed myself the indica before I fed it to my cyclops. Hello, please sign your name here. My name... Maynard. You know, fresh new beginnings, and plus we start with like $5,000 that I'm not gonna spend on anything at this point. Unless it's fucking absolutely necessary. And I'm not just gonna feed them food they hate. Maynard, you will be a new trainer, right? We're going to have you take the trainer type test. Please, oh, questions. I can mostly forget about an unpleasant experience by the next morning. Yeah. In this world, there is something that I must do at the risk of my own life. I'm feeling fatalistic. I'm the type of person who saves his favorite food until last. Yes. If someone does something displeasing, I should not behave the same way. I think work is more important than romance. See previous reason of food. Sometimes it's important for people to simply let something go. Jeez. Mobility, Mary. I have a valuable friend whom I never betray. Yes. smiles. My dream can be realized as long as I do my best to achieve it. Yes. The effort I put forth in reaching my goal is more important than the outcome. No. Once I determine a goal, I must accomplish that goal no matter what. No. Thank you very much. Wow, that thing works. Yeah. Okay, so I can use the left trigger to Sorry, why is my like chat getting cut off here? Sorry to hear you feeling that way though. I wish you would. Are you done? Yes or no? Sorry, I know that was extraordinarily rude, but I feel like it might cheer you up coming from me. Are you done? Says Colt, the 8-year-old. Instead of quietly dropping from the game, I think maybe you should blow up everyone's shit. Never rubbed me the wrong way, by the way. Hearing your voice is enough to cheer me up. Whoa. Not whoa at you, but like what the fuck is happening on screen there? It got all like crazy. Whenever I speed up the game. Whatever. That's very nice of you. Thank you. I'm intaking a lot of stimulus right now. Okay, before I actually get into the game, hold on. I love you, Coast. I love you, Coast, and also what I don't love is the default Nintendo Switch controller layout. I need it to not be this. I don't know how to change it. Oh. I distinctly remember there being like a setting to be like switch the Nintendo controls, right? No, I'm thinking of RetroArch. I think. I'm thinking of RetroArch. Okay. Okay, so A button needs to be my B button. Wait, I mean my B button. What? Wait, what? But then that binds it to my left trigger? Wait, what? I fucked it up. Oh, I can click it with my mouse, maybe? I'm dying over here. Alright. I'm starting to like sweat trying to do this. Alright, cool. So that's saved. We go back and we're happy? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna take off my hoodie. My name is Viola. Allow me to explain. Yeah, we know. We want Suezo now. Give me Dennis. Fast, Dennis. Deke! Dennis. Alright, this time for sure. Oh god. Oh god, stop. Stop. Right. Ranch. We're going to take Dennis to the ranch. Oh man, I just dropped my name. Son of a bitch. Milik. Oh, Colt, long time no see. Master Pabs, nice to see you. Maynard, this is Master Pabs. Maynard, I am Pabs. Nice to see you. He was the greatest trainer. Stop it, Colt. Maynard, keep up the good work with Colt. I have to go now. I have an appointment. Master Pabs used to be the #1 trainer among Ema. I know he doesn't look like that, but... Wait, yes? Who is it? You have mail? Thank you. Who's it from? Look at this. College is on discount. What's not send Dennis over there? Where's Dennis? Where'd he go? Alright, no battles yet. We're gonna do drills. Dennis? Study. Congratulations, Dennis. You've learned. Now you gotta do the leap. He hates the leap. Mostly because he dies if he doesn't do it right. There's a bunch of spikes down there. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna make it so it doesn't capture my cursor. Dennis seems well, but is he? Time to run, Dennis. Let's make a proper save slot. More intelligence, Dennis. Soak up every word. Oh, he fell asleep. Damn it. Wake the fuck up, bitch. He cheated. He fell asleep in class and he tried to pretend. Fuck you, Dennis. You can't be doing this. Milk. Eat milk. Dennis is stressed out. Damn. Rest. Rest, my son. We're assuming that Dennis is a boy, but what if he has a little pussy? At the end of his leg. Dark clouds are forming, but he achieved Samsara. Congratulate. Dennis as well. Swimming time, Dennis. Dennis says, I want mango. Dennis? Frick off, dude. You're not getting mango. Oh, you cheater. Oh yeah, I also had a skip button back in. For the drills. That's so sweet what you said, Coast. The audio from the pool is looping now. That's why this game has like a plain brown noise sound. Like we're inside of a plane. You ever been up in a plane, chat? It's crazy up there. I like to pretend I'm not there when I'm there. It freaks me out. Quite a bit. Catch me talking to the old lady sitting next to me and exchanging stories despite our difference in age. Because we're both open-minded and... Okay, now it sounds like I was like talking to some old lady about sex or something. No, never mind. Shut up. He cheated. Okay, let's just cut to the chase here. Disobedience weighs it. Milk. Rest, my son. Meditate. Failure. Scold. There's that flash on the side. Bro, it's so fucking annoying. Now we can go fast. Now we can go fast. So his loyalty goes up when he does like meditation and studying. He's all cerebral. So you're supposed to like go in. You're supposed to like do it regardless. Okay, hold on. I need to calm down here. About the button mashing. Okay, load that. We're just gonna do like meditation drills. Focus your chi hammer, Dennis. Milik. Dennis is doing good. Is errantry still cheap? No, it's not top. Yes, become enlightened. Success. Damn it, I gave him mango. Fucked up. Now he's gonna be spoiled. Give him the ill-tasting tablet. Damn, his loyalty went up a lot, though. Soft. Soft? Nah, dude. Not today. Cheated. Scold. Failure. Scold. Let's get that money. Be a tomorrow star, chat. You spit on him. Yeah, leveling just intelligence is worth it. Because the green means, like, brain power. Apparently. I read the tiny, teensy little bit about this game without... I, like, was looking for a guide that started with something to the effect of, like, I don't want to spoil the game, so I'm gonna go light, you know, on that part. You know, just give you an overview. Luckily, the game, this remaster, actually has a link to a manual online. Emmanuel online, you know. Fast. Come on, Dennis. Dennis, no. Oh my god, it's so close. Oh! He got him! That was really close. Arch nemesis Juno Mole. Dennis, I need a cigarette. Hold on. Stop the match. I need a cigarette. Coach needs a cig. Never give up. Ow! Angry. Fuming Dennis. Oh my god, just slapping him around. Dennis, you disloyal piece of shit. I knew I shouldn't have entered you into anything. Dennis, you piece of shit! Take from top. He's a bad temperamental boy, but I think I know how to do it this time. This time's the one. Yes, I cannot wait. I cannot go back to sleep. I'm always streaming. I have autism. Yeah, I believe aliens exist. What's up? You wanna fuck? Yeah, I don't betray my friends. I would like to quote-unquote get, quote-unquote try a Suezo. I'm gonna make a new save immediately. Please take good care of it. I'm coming at this with strategy and intrigue. Number 5, alright? Number 5. I'm gonna take Dennis to the ranch. Wait, can we just work a job? Hold on. Do the job or report job. I'm not doing that. I don't know what that means. We're gonna do our best to raise Dennis. Okay, I gotta know, what's the deal with this nutrient? I need to read the manual. The manual isn't spoilers and it's not cheating. It was supposed to come with the game when you got it back in the day. Or I know this because I got it back in the day. Obviously. What's the food? What kind of food? Okay, I'm gonna look this up on my phone. While I go tinkle, I'll be right back.
Hello, chat. Just me, Dennis, checking in. I sure hope everything is okay on the ranch.
It's not like Viagra. The ill-tasting pill is more like steroids. It reduces their lifespan while increasing their stat increases that they get. They get better stat increases, but it stresses them out more. And if you overuse it, apparently it reduces their lifespan and stuff. Which is fricked. Also, I realize I can also I'm back. I can take this away. I can rebind my controller buttons to use the actual little analog stick to move left and right. Okay, see what's L? Okay, so I can have you beat this. Have you beat this, yes? Oh, that's the D-pad. Once you there. I could set other ones, but I don't really care. So I say we probably start them off with some steroids. First thing. First things first, steroids. Yeah, we know about this guy. He's a legend. He's a legend around here. Go ahead and talk to this guy. Yeah. Alright, meditation time for Dennis. Go, Dennis. Success. Let him rest. We did just give him steroids. It's gonna soak him up. Alright, he's too happy. Way too happy. We get that endurance up. Oh, he's cheating. Cheater! Bad. Served by monster fuckers here, just EP. Yeah, you're all good. I'm still over here. Is this one not like milk? But yeah, chilling out, playing with my Dennis. Yeah. I've read all this before. Tonight we feed the cyclops indica. And myself as well. But yes, welcome. Hmm. Yeah, he could use some pare action. Wait, what? Yes. Yes. Okay. Run! Not even Monkey Monday, and he's on that monkey grind.
Hey, hee, hee.
Skill get! Ah. Failure. Failure. Hey, he gained a new technique. That's good. My face when my giant eyeball-shaped body can't wall jump up. It's true. He hates milk. This one doesn't like milk. I think this dentist might be broken. Did I break this dentist already? No, not again. Not college again. Meditate, my son. How do you break a dentist? I think this one came broken. I don't think I broke it. Dude, he has like no loyalty here. Dude, I'm reloading the save. We're reloading this dentist. He's like, I don't know. This dentist is weird. No, we're making a new game. They didn't even give us like. They didn't even give us errantry when we went to the ranch. Let's do it again. See if they give us errantry when like the game first begins. First, we gotta feed our dentist. Fish, I guess. It's got an expensive taste. And then this guy. And then no errantry offer of like, oh yeah, errantry. No, we gotta settle for this dentist. You know, he's our dentist. Right. Battling with myself over here. No, but the timing is so bad. We can have a better dentist, I swear to you. Better dentist is just around the corner if we all just come together in a big collective. And give me all your money. The way the bird feeds him makes me think you're like observing him from a tower because he's too dangerous Jurassic Park style. Oftentimes we have to because he's so irate. Naynard. Oh, I almost fucked up. If he makes eye contact with Maynard, he goes berserk. Yeah. I wonder what that affects. Colt! 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 Are you done? Give me the Dennis. Actually, go back, make a new save. Save over number 5. We're still on 5. Go to market. And there's my chippy. There's my chippy. Dennis! Oh. I didn't mean to go there a second time. Now we go over to 6. I say we start the baby off strong on steroids. But maybe not. Maybe we just do like milk. Steroids. I fed him steroids. Yeah, errantry. See, I told you. Woo! Perfect. Yes, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Go forth, my son. Oh shit! Ah! Dennis could not acquire any techniques. Bruh. Okay, this one's down with milk. Yeah, the run's ruined. You fucked it up, Dennis. Take your steroids again and try better, alright? Eat the food. Oh god, these people. Ah! Okay, we got the errantry. We've secured errantry. Now we go to save slot number 7. Alright. Now we're working with the whole first row. The zeroth row. Goodbye, Dennis. Let's do one drill and then do errantry. He failed. Fucking Dennis. I don't know anything about this monster. Shut the fuck up, bitch. That is Dr. Phil. Success. Got the skill. Nice. Success. Got the skill. Nice. You can do it, Dennis. Ow. Right idea. Get crushed by a fucking rock. And do it twice in a row. Hey, you got a new technique. Good job. Dennis seems very tired. Rest. Rest, my son. Wait, why does it still say third stage rock cavern? Uh-oh.
Who Fauci my eyeball is so bruised from the rocks.
Did it bruise the words third stage rock cavern into your eyes, perchance, my boy?
Yes.
Fuck. Alright, so save slot number 8, right? 8's a pretty cool number. Okay. That actually worked. I kind of wasn't expecting that to work. Monster data. Likes play, dislikes battle. Nature worst. Jesus Christ. Look at that. Nature worst. Form, normal. Nature, worst. Bowel, movement. This is nice. It's nice so we can pull up an actual record of what we did. I'd like to leave the menu now, though. Rest, my son. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Meditate, Dennis. Achieve Uganda. A little bit of milk. First tournament. Dennis is stressed out. Yeah, I bet. Actually, looking at his record. Now that I know I can do that. Let's do a light bit of studying, Dennis. Yay, he wins. Dennis as well. That's good. Do a little endurance challenge for me. You failed. Sorry, Dennis. It's official tournament week.
I want to lovingly pet Dennis' bald eyeball head, and then he bites my hand off.
Same. Fucking same. I'm gonna make that effect a little bit less insane. Just a little bit. Thank you.
Is that you, girlfriend? Where'd you go, girlfriend?
I'm at the hospital. You bit my hand off.
Boston, bro. Dude, shut up.
Dude, shut up. Insane. Insane what I can do with this. But how do I reset it? Is the question. I would just leave it as is. It's fun. We love it here. It's a peaceful place here.
There's never nothing like a dull moment here in Goomland. I've been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off.
I like that. It's got more dynamic range.
No, I don't want to press charges. Set him free. I love you, Dennis. I'll wait for you to get out of Monster Rancher prison.
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off.
My favorite.
Hootie!
Love a man who be. It's so fun fucking with the audio effects specifically for the TTS. It's really good.
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off.
Why does he say it like that?
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off, baby. That is how big man roll, frantic, psychotic.
holding on.
So, Buster, do you know why you're here?
It tasted good, and I don't regret it.
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off, baby. That is how a big man roll, frantic, psychotic. That is how a big man roll, frantic, psychotic. That is how a big man roll. That's how I roll. That's how I roll.
That's how I roll. Yo, why did you say that twice? He's going frantic.
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand, baby. That is how a big man roll, frantic, psychotic.
I have no hands anymore.
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off, baby. That is how a big man roll, frantic, psychotic.
That sounded like a Joker moment when it came from him.
I've also been put into police custody for biting my girlfriend's hand off, baby. That is how a big man roll, frantic, psychotic.
Frantic, psychotic.
And this is a one-man pissing contest complete with piss color and odor as well.
Alright, I made it less intense. Alright. Good enough, I think. Probably. I'm still turned down a little bit. Alright, it's time for the big battle. I think he can do well with 10. It's time to be a tomorrow star. Hope these key bindings work. They don't. They don't work. We have a stationary Dennis moment. Ow. Yeah, just spit on him. It'll be fine. Just spit on him. Nice. Good job, Dennis. Didn't even have to move. Okay, I guess maybe I'd try binding it to the D-pad. Very quiet because I'm trying to set up a controller on Steam. It's difficult. Revert changes. There we go. Okay. Got it. Tornado Twisted. Tornado Twisted. So doing that. Left bumper hits left bumper. True. So true. so confusing the way they have this set up. What the hell? Wait, go back. Oh, not this. Oh god, no. Bop, bop. La, 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 la. We try this for the piece. That is the making it going fast mode. But hold on. So, in theory, not gyro. Left bump there. Okay, no, I can't do this. I'm just gonna fight. Fuck you, Longhorn. Critical spit. Yeah, get him, Dennis, come on. Actually, I think we can play for time, but one more good spin. Ow. No, fucker! He failed us. Hey, what's up, FM? Playing some Monster Rancher. It's the remaster. Oh yeah? Hope you enjoyed. Ow. I've never been to further confusion. First time ever going to a FurCon? Hell yeah. My first big FurCon was Anthrocon. Yeah. Hope you have fun. Dennis is gonna get his ass whooped. He's gonna fucking fuck it all up. I don't believe it. I don't believe this time. Word. This Suezo sucks, chat. These Suezos, they're ass. I do not believe in this, Dennis. I do not have hope for his future. Yeah, I heard Further Confusion has a big cyclops eyeball that spits at you. Okay, I'm making that up. Yeah, maybe we'll bump into each other sometime at a convention. It'll be a while before I go to one. Again, I think. For financial reasons. Yay, rank 3. Hey, we got some money. That's what's important is money. And skills. Good job, Dennis. Milk. Not as expensive as raising a Suezo. Probably. Let me tell you. No, rest is just as important as cum, chat. It's true. My dog shit eyeball. Yeah. I was really dogging him out there. Level up! We could drop some serious flow on more college, but I think we might wait until there's a discount. Hey, look, he actually did it. Milk. Rest, my Dennis. My dog shit eyeball. I guess you just gotta be kind of soft on Suezos. Maybe they're just a little neuroatypical, and there's nothing I can do about it. I feel like I've gone through the, stages of grief with Suezos so many times. I feel like a crazy cat lady, but with Suezos. Suezo of grief. Yeah, the Suezo stages of grief. The Suezos. Footsies. Cheat! His intelligence still went up a lot. Oh. Potato? Yeah, you need to harden up. You eat Polish. We got mail? Who's that from? Oh, errantry. Yeah, dude. Let's do that. Fuck the tournament. But he's like stressed right now. Hold on. Gotta rest him. Rest my Dennis. I gotta go shirtless mode. Dennis is very well. Streamer is covered in grape jelly from the sandwich malfunction. Streamer is now naked. Like Germa. It's liberating to see why he does it. Can't believe Germa streams naked with a crazy dildo up his ass. Suezo's in the school, looking at the bird. Has a bright idea. Intelligence going up. Smarter Suezo. Brilliant eyeball. Einstein of this generation. But you need more defense, buddy. He always cheats it. So dishonorable. Was it just radio? Do exclamation mark TTS for the TTS thing. There's been a lot of voices added. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, FM Sam. Thank you, Stream Elements. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, me. Good. We have no items. Teehee. No tourney. Torble C. Let's go to Torble C. Let's look for Tachi or Amoeba. Nah, let's look for Bustler. Bustler. We gotta look for Pager. It's called Pager. All right. Success. Skill get. Success. Yes. Failure. That's okay. Hungry sharks. You don't fail around hungry sharks. Dennis. Hey, you did good out there, okay? You learned something new regardless. Maynard, Dennis. Dennis is sick? I'm a bit concerned. I'll put it in the hospital. Is that just like RNG? Dude, all of his fucking loyalty's gone. I hate these fucking Suezos, man. I'm so sick of them. Ooh, the neighbor's dogs just woke up. It's going like whoop, whoop, whoop. It's running around and it probably weighs over 100 pounds. So it like, you know.
You got that dog in him. Over.
Exactly. Dennis gets real stressed. We need more of these leaves. Guess we'll buy him like a fucking mango. Too. Enjoy a mango. He doesn't even want it. He doesn't even want it. Dude. No regrets. No regrets. No regrets. De-stress your dentist, always. Is there a deal on errantry? No. Then we do the drill though. Success. Rest my dentist. My boy loves milk. Give him some candy. Sweeten him up. Make him loyal. Not you. Why do I do that? Yeah, he actually did it this time. Is there a reason why you're going all in on Suezo compared to anything else? I think it's funny. I don't know, I named him Dennis and I'm just attached, I guess. I want to breed different little Suezos, all bred from one like purebred Suezo who's just insane. Yeah, and we have like a whole Suezo thing. Everyone loves this guy. Everyone seems to really appreciate this dude. He's a fan favorite, so. And he's my favorite too. As much as I get mad at him and talk shit, I mean, it's because I believe in him. The Super Suezo. You know, if Dennis seems tired, then he is. You know what? Even if he's lying to get to go to sleep, then he... I like hair because I'm a bunny fucker. That's true. That's also fair. They're pretty cute. I like how they fart. It's funny. I don't know, 11 loyalty. I feel like maybe we could go for it. Maybe we just go for it. Is there any good porn of hair out there? I'm assuming you've looked it up. So far we had a monster fucker and a bunny fucker in chat tonight. I'm here for it. Oh, dude. Oh, these techniques are fucking esoteric. Just keep spitting on him, dude. Don't matter. No, not the lick of death. Oh, it's the lick of death. I haven't. Okay. Hey, speak of the devil. Yeah, we need to be more well-rounded with Dennis's training. You fucking bitch. This Suezo's all book smarts, dude. No, not the part of death. Okay, it didn't kill me. God damn it. No, not the part of death. Can't even win his first tournament. He's gimped, dude. Back to title screen, dude. This is where we first got our Suezo and started fucking everything up. With all of his teeth coming out like that. Get braces for Dennis now. Braces for Dennis now. Braces, 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 braces. Get your braces right now. Yeah. Dennis needs a dental plan. We're gonna take Dennis to the ranch. Take him out back. A well-rounded diet suits the baby well. Don't give the baby steroids right off the bat. He might hate you. Oh god, this shit. No errantry offered. That's okay, I guess. How are you, Dennis? You fucked up. Alright, we gotta give Dennis an easy win or he's gonna get pissed. Meditate. Success. Fish. Rest. Rest. Oh, he likes that. He likes when I don't make him do shit. Yeah, I bet you do. We need your defense up. So it's time for you to get hit with the pulse. Good job, Dennis. I guess it's not worth it to train them in stuff that they don't have, like, skills in or something. He didn't even finish it. Milk. Let him rest. Is there anything that increases HP? Yeah, life. I gotta level up his life. First, I'm going to send him to, well, first I'm gonna buy... First, before that, I'm gonna buy... Or talk to this lady, because I have to. We're gonna get him some cannabis. Some cannabis, and cannabis. We're gonna get him some nuts oil for later. He loves having nuts oil rubbed on him. Cement leave him, calm you down a little bit. And we're gonna send him off for errantry. Because there's a discount once this guy shuts up. Sharp Tech. Yeah, let's go. Come on, Dennis. Success. Icicle Fall. Nice. Ice Quake. Failure. He made it! Holy shit! He didn't acquire any new techniques, so god damn it. Yeah, give it a rest, Dennis. You've earned nuts oil. Time for the pull. Yeah, get it. Yeah, get it. Time for the swim. Oh my god, he's actually doing it. Oh no, he's failing. I still think it's weird that you lose intelligence from swimming every time. I guess because he's drowning. A little bit. We're treating our boy well. No, not Aaron Trick. I did it. Do a little domino training. Nice. Good work, Dennis. Let him rest. Yes, be good to your Dennis, and he'll be good to you. I'm gonna save, because this is actually going pretty well. Yeah, just chill, Dennis. Whatever. Excuse me. No, not taters. Some fish. Dennis is stressed out. Aw, dude. Take a rest, Dennis. go on a run, Dennis. Oh, he didn't like balk at that idea. Oh, I guess he was planning on cheating. That's why. He's like, yeah, sure. My boy. Dennis is very well. Yeah, he's actually like loyal. Let's get him. Let's bribe him with monsters like this very much. Use this to reward your monster. $600. You better like this. Oh, he loved it. Oh, 29. Okay, yeah. All right, close some ass. Nats gave up. He just gave up. All right, the battle. Nice. He's getting angry. He's getting angry, but he's covered in spit. He can't do anything about it. Ow. He did something about it. Oh, I didn't mean to speed up. Yeah, get him. Nice. KO. And they laughed at him. They just laughed at him. No sympathy. They just laughed at him. I think I'm starting to understand the Suezo chat. I was afraid we wouldn't break through. But we're breaking through. And we're gonna whoop this Junomo's ass. It's gonna be great. Yes, Perona. You gonna hit me? I win, bitch. Spit in your face. Yeah. Yeah, Dennis won. Yeah. Yeah, Lontar won, yeah. Ericus won, yeah. That's one, yeah. That's one. Dennis versus Oakley Man. Dennis v. Oakley Man. Dennis versus Oakley Man. Ooh, that would have hurt the eyeball, let me tell you. Yeah, now just start spitting on him again, Dennis. Yeah, that works good. got the good spitting action going on, Dennis. Yeah, just spit on. Yeah, keep it up. Yeah, more spit, more spit. Nice try. Nice try, bud. Nice try, bud. Yeah, nice try, bud. Yeah, Dennis won again. Yep. Dennis versus Lontar. You can see the other Suezo also disobeying commands because they're the worst. You fucking bitch. Ow! Oh well. Can't win them all, eh? KO. Who's the overall winner? Oh, we gotta do another match versus Juno Mole. Okay, we gotta do a tiebreaker. Nice. Dude, stop. Oh, if you dispel, you can headbutt them away. Okay. And that icon pops up. Nice, okay. Now I understand. Nice! Not power. No power. No. None of this power nonsense. Yeah! You get fucked. Oh my god, what did he turn into that? What is that? Dennis is the winner. Dennis is the winner. Winner. Dennis. Number one. $750. Oh my god. Good shit. Good shit, Dennis. Proud of you, boy. You know what? We're giving you the succulent meat. Because you're epic. Did we rank up? Rank up! Dennis seems well, not for long. Maybe I should wait. Meditation. Success. Do the leap. Want some rest next week? No. Oh, he cheated. He's cheating. Cheater. Bitch. Rest, boy, rest. Gotta swim, boy. 6 days. Milk. You have mail. Who's it from? Yeah, I knew I should have waited. Nice. Alright, so, item. Let's get a mint leaf. Maynard received his first rank. Wait, she'll let me get an item? Or something? Like have a... I don't know. She said she was giving me some kind of deal. I guess I'll just believe her. Rest in us. We gotta make you ready for college. Monkey time. Success. Success. The infamous rock cavern. Oh shit! Good work, Dennis. He's never gotten this far. Big gorilla? Oh, big gorilla. Oh, Dennis, what are you gonna do? Uh-oh. Do you just lick its ass, Dennis? Don't tell me you just licked his ass crack. Oh no, you just did it again. Wait, he's eating its ass? Oh no, he got flattened. Fetish content. He acquired a new technique. Good job, Dennis. He's into it, yeah. Seems pretty tired, damn. I'm gonna buy him some nuts oil extract from nuts. I'm gonna buy him nuts oil extract from nuts. This oil squeezed out of nuts helps a monster recover from fatigue. So true. He's into it. He's into this too. We have no items. Rest Dennis. Covers him in oils and fragrances, colognes. Who is it? You have mail. Yo, sale. Yeah, let's go get some shit. I need pills. Buy mango. Buy candy. Buy a mint leaf. Another mango. That's it. Do the leap, Dennis. Nice. Slathering my eyes in oil before a power nap. Hey, we didn't get the low loyalty warning this time, for once. My eye-based power nap. That's fast. Spit-based combat, you know? Call of Suezo, phlegmatic warfare. Nice. He's still slathered in oil and frankincense and myrrh. Didn't even get a hit on him. Ow. Ow. Hey, well, I don't know about this one, Dennis. Oh, shit. Damn it. No! Heyo! Dennis got knocked the fuck out. You can still win, though. Damn, dude, you got fucked up. But the wolf's already made of spit. I know. Alright, we lost. No longer win the tournament. No longer mathematically possible. Might as well throw. Might as well start poisoning other people's drinks. That's what Dennis said to me. Ow. Ow. Yeah, cool her down with some spit. Wife mad, cool down with spit. Huh? The kiss of death. She kissed his eyeball. She hit him where it really counts, the mucous membrane. Dumb plan. Holy shit. Ow. Rearranging me. Yeah, whoop its ass. Seed gun. Trying to assassinate Dennis. Ow. Yeah. Ow. We still win that one. Still get a little money. Tiebreaker. Palmer won. Can't win them all, Chad. That's all right. Still got $200. Still lost all of our fame. Okay. Speaking of slathering my eyes in oil, I need to slather my eyes in some eyelids and get some sleep. So I'm gonna end it off here. Good stream though. Oh, and now Dennis is spoiled. Yeah, great news. And we'll deal with this problem next time, alright? For now, thank you for watching, chat. Patreon, Blue Sky, Discord, it's all down below. You can check it out if you feel like it. You don't gotta support me. But if you wanted to, you could on Buy Me a Coffee. The link is also there. I do appreciate it. And the stream is not starting soon, it's ending soon, actually. I'm not taking a bit right break. I'm going to bed. Sway some Nancy. That's good enough. Okay. Good night. All my Dennises around the world. Stay safe. Good night.